Welcome to One Way to Machines and the 8th Gen Honda Civic series. In this video, we will be doing an oil change on a 2011 Honda Civic with the R18 4-cylinder. The following are the items you will need. You will want a dedicated pair of gloves for the oil change, filter strap wrenches, metal ones, or filter pliers. That's what I use most of the time. You also want some rags for cleanup, and a yard waste bag doesn't hurt for when you go to pre-fill the oil filter. We will be using a 0W20 full synthetic. This car is recommended as a 5W20, but this does not matter. A 0W20 oil is going to have better flow in cold weather temperatures, and when it gets up to temp, it's going to be the same weight at a 20. Here's the part number for the Honda oil filter. Make sure to get the drain plug washer at the dealer as well. In terms of cracking the drain plug loose, you can use a 3/8 with a deep socket 17 or a 1/2 inch with a short 17. It really doesn't matter. You can snug the drain plug down when you tighten it, hand tight with your body force, or if you would like, you can use a torque wrench like the one shown and torque it to 29 foot-pounds. You will want an oil drain pan with at least 4 liters capacity and a funnel. Also have a rag to clean your funnel. You will want a minimum of 2 jack stands to support the car and at least 4 bricks to chock the rear wheels. You also want a properly weighted floor jack in order to lift the car by the front cross member. A pair of foam interlocking mats doesn't hurt for the times that you're laying down on the ground. Here is the front emblem of the car. We are going to go straight down. Here is the exhaust. Right in front of it, the subframe has the steel cross member. This is where you want to lift up the car. The oil filter is conveniently located towards the front of the car. Chock both rear wheels front and back with bricks and place jack stands underneath the jacking points on the side and lower the car. Lower the car on 2 jack stands, and then for extra safety, if you want, slide in some other jack stands on the frame rail, but lower the car only on the front 2. Remove the oil fill cap and crack the dipstick loose to aid in ventilation when you remove the drain plug. You can also place a piece of cardboard underneath the oil filter drain plug area to catch any spillage. I suggest a foam mat and cardboard setup like this, as everything for the oil change is conveniently located near the passenger side wheel here. So slide in from the driver's side and the work is done here. So here's the front emblem of the car. When we come straight down, a little bit to the left, that white thing is the oil filter. There's the wheel, oil filter. Now going just straight back a little bit, right there you see in big letters it says engine oil with an arrow pointing to the 17mm drain plug. You're going to crack that loose with good force and have your oil drain pan slightly further back so that the trajectory of oil goes into the drain pan. Keep some slight inwards pressure on the drain plug until the last second and then pull it out quickly and vertically so that you get less oil all over your hands. Once it slows to a drip, turn your drain pan on a diagonal underneath the oil filter and use your filter pliers to crack the oil filter loose. It's important to crack the filter loose while the drain plug's open, because as you can see, that allows more oil to come out of the drain plug. This vehicle takes 3.7 liters on a drain and fill with the oil filter. One 5-liter jug of oil is sufficient. If you pre-fill the oil filter, it takes 0.3 liters if you fill it all the way. If you fill it halfway, as we are going to do, it takes 0.15 liters. So you're going to pour 3.55 liters into the car, eyeballing it, and you're going to fill the oil filter halfway. Make sure to clean the metal surface mating area for the oil filter, and make sure the gasket from the old filter has also been removed. Because if you install the new one and you have a double gasket situation, you're going to have a big oil leak when you go to turn on the car. Use your clean finger to lubricate the O-ring on the new oil filter before you install, and pre-fill halfway if you're going to do it that way. Use a can of brake cleaner to clean up the mess that has been made around the oil filter area so that you can diagnose any other oil leaks in the future. In terms of the drain plug, spray it down with some brake cleaner, remove the old drain plug washer, and put the new one on, snug it back down. Keep the box for the new filter with a rubber band, put the old filter inside, wrap it up with the rubber band, empty the old oil filter into the oil drain pan so that when you take all this stuff for disposal to your local auto parts store, it doesn't spill around in your car. So what you just saw right there is something I've never seen before on many Hondas that I've worked on. This oil drain plug must have been the wrong size slightly, as the only way I was able to get it out was by lightly threading it out. This didn't damage the threads on the drain plug, but it's very odd. I've always been able to just pop them off. Here's the new one. See, it goes right on. That wasn't my cleanest pour of all time, but pour the oil in, and that amount is eventually going to settle to the bottom and go into the filter portion, and you're just going to see a tad bit of oil down the hole in the center. On reinstall, if your hands are slippery, use a rag to thread in the oil filter and go hand tight with your full body force. Do not put a strap wrench or anything on the filter. It will be hard to get it off the next time. And this is more than sufficient for the car to run properly. Snug the drain plug in and torque it to 29 foot-pounds if you'd like. Start the threads by hand, making sure not to cross thread. Slide the cardboard out from underneath the car with all of your oily tools on it, and save the piece of cardboard, as this is going to serve for your platform to pour the oil into your washer fluid containers or the old oil container in order to take it to your local auto parts store for disposal. When it comes time to fill the oil, you can see I've put a traditional sized funnel in there. That rubber piece that runs along the bottom of the windshield there gets in the way, that's not fully seated in there. So unless you use no funnel and you have a lot of control, it's better to use the funnel that you see on top there with the skinny end, as this will give you the most peace of mind. Also, face the part of the funnel that is higher up towards the windshield so that when you pour, standing with your stomach facing the emblem of the car, you have the least amount of chance for spillage. The inside of the cavity of the fill hole is a bit odd, and as you saw there, the thin one kind of slid in on an angle. I just plopped the other one inside, and this makes it easier for the people who are more beginner. Place the dipstick back and eyeball 3.55 liters, and always remember, it's better to pour less, put the car down, cycle the oil and add, as opposed to having to crack the drain plug to release oil in the case that you overfill. This car has quite a small engine bay, so most of you will be fine with the thin long funnel. This is the first time I thought of putting the other funnel inside. As you can see, I got a little bit of spillage at the beginning right there, but as long as you keep an eye on the crack between the two funnels, you won't have any spillage. You will have to go a little bit slower if you do the double funnel method. Lower the car onto the ground, put the oil filler cap on, turn the car on, let the oil cycle for 30 seconds to a minute, turn it off, wait 30 seconds to a minute, and then check the dipstick and see where your oil level's at. Clean the dipstick before checking the level. You want the oil to be on that cross-hatched piece at the end of the dipstick. As you can see, we're a bit low. This is preferable to being overfilled. So we're going to add a swig of oil, let the car cycle again, turn it off, and check again. This garage is level, but if you are doing your work on an unlevel ground, make sure to move the car to a level place on the street in order to do your checks, or else they're going to be inaccurate. We were still a bit low there, so I added some more and we'll cycle again. After a few rounds of cycling and refilling, we are just about at the top of the cross-hatching, about 7/8 of the way there. So be patient and don't rush it so that you don't overfill. This car wasn't due for an oil change for about 1,000 kilometers from now, and the oil light had most likely not been reset by the shop that did it before, as it's showing 60% here. Resetting the oil light is very simple on this car. Just over here, we are looking underneath the driver's side heater vent. You're going to push the select reset button until your screen underneath the mileage gets to the oil life. Then you're going to hold it for about 10 seconds until it starts flashing. Then, once it's flashed for about 5 seconds, hold the select reset button again, and it should go back to oil life 100%. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm holding the select reset button until we get to the oil life. So there it is at 60%. Now I'm holding the button. Now it has started flashing after about 10 seconds. I'm still holding the button. Now I'm going to release it. And I'm going to hold it again. And there we have it, oil life 100%. Now this vehicle is ready to be used again. With synthetic oil, you can do anything between 5,000 to 7,500 kilometers between changes, easy on these Civics.